All right, let's talk about a story that's, believe it or not, over 170 years old, but feels like it could have been written yesterday. It's all about one of the most powerful and honestly unsettling ideas out there, the quiet, polite refusal to just go along.
The story is Herman Melville's Bartleby the Scrivener, and it all hinges on a single, perfectly courteous sentence, a sentence that brings an entire system grinding to a halt. We're not talking about a loud protest or rebellion. This is something way, way stranger.
And there it is. That's the line. A quiet, totally unassuming law clerk on Wall Street says this when he's asked to do his job, and with those 5 words, everything changes. It's a sentence that just refuses to be understood, and in doing so, it kind of cracks open the whole fragile world around it.
Okay, so let's peel back the first layer here and just look at the language itself. How in the world can a few simple, polite words be so completely and utterly disruptive?
This right here is the puzzle that has fascinated people for generations. I mean, think about it. It's not a no. It's not an argument. It's a preference. And that's so much vaguer, so much softer, and it makes it almost impossible to fight against.
The philosopher Gilles Deleuze really saw this as something radical. It's like it doesn't even play the game of command and response. It's as if Bartleby just calmly walks off the chessboard, leaving power with no moves left to make.
And, as psychoanalyst Adam Phillips points out, it's the politeness that really gets under your skin. An angry no, well, that gives you something to push back on. But a quiet little preference, it gives you absolutely nothing. It just forces you to sit with your own discomfort.
So, the bottom line here is that the sentence isn't really meant to be understood. It's meant to just stop the whole conversation cold. It refuses to play by the rules of meaning that we all depend on to make sense of things. It just turns language into a dead end.
Now let's see how this conversational dead end blows up into a full-scale breakdown of authority. Because Bartleby's simple little preference, it's not just awkward, it's a genuine threat to the whole system.
That sounds kind of backward, doesn't it? I mean, a rebellion is loud, it's in your face. But Bartleby's quiet little phrase is threatening in a way that a protest just isn't.
As the literary critic Leo Marx explains it, if you hold up a protest sign, you're still acknowledging the power you're protesting. You're operating in their world. But Bartleby, he doesn't even give authority the satisfaction of being recognized.
He just sidesteps. He gives authority nothing to grab onto. No anger, no argument, nothing. He leaves it shouting into a void, and in that silence, power just starts to crumble. It needs a reaction, and Bartleby gives it zip.
So, who's on the receiving end of all this? Let's take a closer look at the man trying to manage this whole crisis, Bartleby's boss, the lawyer. He seems like a good guy, but this story really makes you wonder what goodness even is.
He's patient, he's charitable, he really tries to be understanding. But you're forced to ask, what is all this kindness really for? Is it actually for Bartleby, or is it maybe for the lawyer himself?
You see, all of the lawyer's attempts to help are really just about getting things back to normal. He tries to manage, to persuade, to offer charity. These are all tools for restoring order, not for actually questioning the system that's causing the problem.
And this is where the story gets really sharp. This quote from the political theorist Hannah Arendt just nails it. The lawyer's goodness is totally passive. Sure, he avoids being cruel, but he never, ever challenges the fundamental injustice of Bartleby's situation.
So ultimately, the lawyer's kindness is more about making sure he still feels like a good, reasonable person. It's about calming his own anxiety about Bartleby's suffering, not necessarily about ending the suffering itself. Okay, peeling back one more layer, we get to something that feels incredibly close to home. Bartleby isn't just one guy. He's a symptom of the modern workplace. He is the original ghost in the machine, the first case of quiet quitting. I mean, his job is the absolute definition of soul-crushing bureaucratic labor. It's totally stripped of any meaning or purpose. He's basically a human photocopier, and his refusal is what happens when a soul just runs out of gas.
Now, there's a really cool distinction from Hannah Arendt that helps make sense of this. She talks about labor. That's the endless, repetitive work Bartleby does, the stuff we do just to survive. It's the hamster wheel. But then there's action. That's the realm of freedom, where we create things, where we contribute, where we become truly human in the eyes of others. Bartleby is completely stuck in labor.
And here's the devastating point.
In a world that only values you for what you can produce, choosing to be useless is basically a form of social suicide. When Bartleby refuses to work, he doesn't just become unemployed, he becomes invisible. And all of this builds to the story's final knockout punch. It's this one haunting image that reframes everything we've just seen. It's not really an explanation, but a place. And it's one of the most powerful metaphors you'll ever read.
We find out, at the very end, that Bartleby used to work in a dead letter office. Just let that sink in. A place where human connection, where people's hopes and intentions are just administratively processed and then destroyed. It's a graveyard for communication.
And that's when it all clicks into place. As his biographer Raymond Weaver put it so perfectly, Bartleby himself is a dead letter. He is a human message that was sent out into the world but never, ever reached its destination.
And that leaves us with the story's final lingering question. And it's not really a question about Bartleby, it's a question for us, about the world we've made. In a society that demands you participate, demands you explain yourself, demands you be useful. What do we do with a soul that simply, quietly, would prefer not to?